Hello everyone. Today I'm going to go over the legislation to reform emergency rental assistance program. If preferred, you can just listen rather than watching. There are many items here that, if passed, will help tenants tremendously. So stay tuned and listen up. Legislation to reform emergency rental assistance program passes the House Committee. The House Financial Services Committee voted 28 to 22 to approve the Expediting Assistance to Renters and Landlords Act to address and correct many of the root causes of slow emergency rental assistance spending and provide tenant protections. National Low Income Housing Coalition, NLIHC President, testified before the committee at its September 10 hearing on needed reforms to ERA programs. The ERA reform legislation addresses the root causes of slow ERA spending and includes many of NLIHC's recommendations, including requiring all programs to use self-attestation for all eligibility criteria without the need for further documentation, requiring programs to provide direct-to-tenant assistance when landlords refuse to participate, expanding eligibility for ERA 1 to renters who experienced a hardship during and not just due to the COVID-19 pandemic, prohibiting programs from requiring written leases, creating a presumption that people experiencing homelessness meet all of the eligibility criteria, extending the maximum length of the assistance from 15 months to 24 months, and increasing the availability of future rent from 3 months to 4 months before renters must reapply, requiring programs to make applications available in 3 most spoken languages in the jurisdiction and to provide translation services, creating a safe harbor for program administrators that streamline applications, use self-attestation and direct-to-tenant assistance, and reduce burdensome documentation requirements, requiring poor-performing programs to submit a performance improvement plan outlining how the program will expedite the delivery of assistance, requiring the Department of the Treasury, when reallocating recaptured funds, to consider the percentage of renters in the area, the percentage of low-income renters, and the percentage of severely housing cost-burdened renters, allowing the courts and community-based nonprofit organizations that administer housing services to administer recaptured and reallocated and unrequested emergency rental assistance funds, and directing Treasury and state local governments to conduct outreach to renters and landlords to increase awareness of emergency rental assistance and to improve technical assistance, requiring the Department of Treasury, when reallocating recaptured funds, to consider the percentage of renters in the area, the percentage of low-income renters, and the percentage of severely housing cost-burdened renters, allowing courts and community-based nonprofit organizations that administer housing services to administer recaptured and reallocated and unrequested emergency rental assistance funds, and directing the Treasury and state and local governments to conduct outreach to renters and landlords to increase awareness of emergency rental assistance and to provide technical assistance. While the NLIHC, or the National Low Income Housing Coalition, has reservations about the bill's proposal to allow landlords to apply for ERA without the consent or involvement of tenants, the bill now includes strong safeguards as recommended by the NLIHC to help prevent landlord fraud and protect renters. These protections include prohibiting landlords from receiving such assistance from evicting tenants for 120 days after receiving emergency rental assistance, requiring that the landlords and the courts set aside and vacate any eviction, judgment, rescind any eviction notice, and seal any eviction filing in these cases. Directing the state and local ERA programs to notify local courts that rent is no longer due, that eviction proceedings should be halted, and that any pending eviction should be sealed, and limiting the ability of the landlords to apply for assistance only on homes where the renter left before September 7th and only in cases when the landlord did not file an eviction notice, cut off utilities, change locks, or take any other action to pressure a renter to leave. I will be keeping a close eye as the ERA reform bill moves forward in Congress. The NLIHC will continue to urge additional renter protections and improvements. I hope this information is helpful to you tenants out there that are struggling to get rental assistance approved. If you found this info helpful, be sure to like and subscribe so that I can continue to provide rental assistance news for you.